As we get closer to Erev Yom Kippurim and to Yom Kippurim itself, there is a common minhag of Kapparos. And it's very interesting what the Shulchan Aruch says about Kapparos and to try and understand what is it all about. In Tafrei Shei Sifal, the Shulchan Aruch writes, Masha Nogim Asos Kappara B'Erev Yom Tov. This, that there's a practice to get atonement on Erev Yom Kippur, Lishchod Tarnagol, to shecht, to slaughter a chicken, Al Kol Ben Zachar, on every male child, V'lomer L'Psukim, and to say certain Psukim, Yesh Limnoa Haminag. The Mechaber says the minhag is inappropriate. One should not do it. One should withhold. One should hold back from doing it. Says the Ramah, V'yesh Me'agonim Shekasu Minhag Zer. There are the Gaonim that wrote about this minhag. V'chein Gasvel so Rabbi Min Achronim, many of the Achronim. V'chein Nogim B'chol Mediaseinu V'ein Lashanos Kihu Minhag Vasikin. Says that it is an appropriate minhag and should not be changed. So we see this machlokas, the Shulchan Aruch Paskins, like many of the Rishonim, the Rashba, the Ramban, and others who say that it is usher to do Kapparos. It seems like Darkei Hamori, it seems like some superstitious, non-Jewish practice that was being done. But the Ramah says that it is the Kam Minhag, and it does seem that it still is the Kam Minhag, and there are also Gedolei Olam from across the spectrum, from the Arizal to the Kaf HaChaim, to many others who assume that it is a proper Minhag. What's the idea behind it? Seems a little bit strange. The simple understanding is a nefesh tachas nefesh. There's a pidyon, there's a replacement. Instead of it being me, it's going to be this chicken. But that's a very strange concept. Where exactly does that come from? The Chai Adam writes, that even though some of the Gonim said that it's a proper minhag, but what has become enrooted in the hearts of people and the average person, that this is the most important thing. If I don't do a chicken before Yom Kippur, it's going to be terrible. They think it's almost as important as eating matzah and Pesach. And if you don't do it this way, it's not going to be valid. That is tragic. That is tragic. So what is the idea behind the Kapparos? So sort of Juk wrote something, and it seems simple on the one hand, but I think a beautiful idea on the other. He says it's obvious that the Kappara does not come from the chicken. There's no magic. We don't believe in these types of superstitious practices. But the idea is to do something else to be ma'orer tshuva. It's about putting us in a certain mood. It's about putting us in a certain mindset, where when we think the same way that a korban chatas, the kapara comes when the chote understands that really I deserve the what's going to happen to the korban, but instead HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us another way, and it's going to happen to the animal instead. The same thing seems to be true as well. And that seems to be the idea, is it tries to give us a framework in which we understand that our task is to do tshuva. And there are punishments, and there's the result that happened to that chicken is really what we deserve. And it's not that the chicken is instead of us, but the chicken inspires us, as it were, to appreciate the opportunity that we have on Yom Kippurim. Ki bayom hazeh yechaper alechem letaher eschem mikol chatosechem lifnei Hashem titaru. We have the opportunity to stand in front of Hashem and to achieve kapara. And that is a tremendous, tremendous gift. But it requires preparation. It requires thinking in advance. Introspectively, what can I do differently this year? I can make changes. Maybe not everything, but there are things that I can do. And I can emerge a different person. But we have to understand the chomer hachet, that we have done things wrong. And this is part of that process, part of creating that framework. Maybe the way we dress in the white, like the Malachim, it's part of also of putting us in a certain mindset. And that's what Kapparos is as well. What's the machlokas about? Whether we are concerned that in trying to set this mood, people are going to get the wrong ideas. But at the end, everybody will agree that it's about understanding and appreciating the framework for which we do it. As the Mishnah Berurah writes about Kapparos, v'yachshav, you should think, shekol ma she'osin lo'ofazeh, whatever you're doing to this chicken, hakol yirav alav, it should have come on me. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu has rachamim on us and removes the gzeira v'niskayim dugmaso. And similar to what should have happened to me happened to the chicken. It's not instead of me, but it reminds me what could have been. Similar to the korban chatas, and that should be the inspiration that we have. It should give us a perspective, and that hopefully, if we understand what Chet has done to us and how we need to distance ourselves from it, and the opportunity of Tahara and Kapara that we have, hopefully HaKadosh Baruch Hu will grant us all a Gemara Chasima Tova.